Hello and welcome back to another episode of Tash Teaches. I'm Tash, and tonight I'd like to talk about a common trap that ensnares many a music producer: the endless cycle of learning without application. We often wear the label of eternal student as a badge of honor. But if we're honest, sometimes it's merely a convenient shield, for it feels safer to say, I'm still learning, than to face the vulnerability of creating and sharing our finished music. Learning is incredibly comfortable, but growth happens when we step outside of that comfort zone. Let's address the elephant in the studio: the addiction to consumption. In the era of all-you-can-eat enlightenment, where the sum of near all music production knowledge is always at our fingertips, it's easy to fall into the trap of becoming perpetual learners. We're like kids in a candy store, eyes wide, hopping from one tutorial to another, seeking to amass an ever-expanding treasure chest of knowledge. But let's pause and ponder. Is this relentless pursuit of information leading us towards our goal of actually being better music producers? Or is it just a cleverly disguised form of procrastination? We often get caught up in the illusion that learning more will make us better. And while education is indeed invaluable, it's not the amount of information that matters, but what we do with it. It's like preparing for a marathon by reading about running shoes. Helpful, sure, but not enough to get you across the finish line. You see, the bridge between knowledge and skill is in application. It's one thing to know the theory behind writing a great melody, and quite another to actually do it yourself. This gap is where many get lost. Application is the alchemy that transforms your acquired knowledge into gold, into music that resonates and impacts on a deep level with others. So how do we shift from passive learning to active application? Well, here are 3 concepts that may serve as a rather helpful roadmap. Number 1, instead of aimlessly learning in a vacuum, focus on learning for a purpose by setting specific and achievable goals. Pick a project that you'd like to finish and learn only what's necessary for you to complete it. This method ensures that your consumption of information is targeted and immediately applied. Number 2, it's actually quite beneficial to limit your information intake. It's so easy to get hooked on the real thrill of learning something new. That dopamine hit when we uncover a new mixing technique or a sound design trick is genuine. So the next time you find yourself on YouTube watching your 100th tutorial of the week, ask yourself, how will I actually use this in my music today? Try imposing a limit on your research time each week. For every hour spent in learning, perhaps dedicate 2 to application. And finally, number 3 is to share your work. You must be brave and decide that a track is finished. Share your music with others even if it's not what you deem to be perfect. Feedback, whether positive or negative, is a really powerful tool for growth. Also, by getting into the habit of declaring something finished and then moving on, you develop the embodied awareness of what it feels like to let go of a creation. This, in itself, is one of the quickest ways to get better at music, because it is only in releasing your art that you can understand what it really means. Endless tweaking serves only as a tool to feel more lost and less empowered. You see, our music isn't just a reflection of what we know, but how we use that knowledge to move, inspire, and innovate. Every piece of information is a tool, but it is entirely up to us to actually use these tools to craft our musical visions. Remember, the world doesn't need any more music producers who know everything about compression ratios but never actually share their work. The world needs your music, your ideas, and your unique sound. It's time to shift from being a consumer of information to a creator of experiences. So do us all a favor, close your browser and go and finish some heartfelt music.